This video is about a successful common man. Most stories about successful men are about how a common man became successful. But this video is about how a common man became successful and still remains a common man. All of us want to taste success, don't we? But what we fail to understand is that success is a relative term. We all link fame and money with success. When we are asked to name some successful people, we say Bill Gates, we say Obama, we say A.R. Rahman, we say Chetan Bhagat. We name all the famous or rich people. But are they the only successful men that we know? Aren't people who are not famous and not as wealthy as these men, aren't they successful? They are, and this story is about one among them. There was this small boy who had the craze to come to Madras. Once when he was just 3.5 years old, he was brought to a relative's house and he ran away from the house. He was lost, and when he was found, he said he went in search of Madras. The dream to reach Madras was always within him. He completed his SSLC and unfortunately he had to discontinue his education for 1 long year. He had to be with his sick dad. His dad was gone. He didn't want to be a burden on the shoulders of his mother. He decided to be on his own and he had the dream to come to Madras. He came to Madras. What did he do? For the first 1 week, he had nothing to do. He had a relative's house. Somebody fed him. He was feeling guilty for not earning the money for what he was eating. So he decided to take up any job that he got. And he got one. He got a job where he was a daily wages labor in an iron nail producing company. And you know how it is. He had to stay there. He was given only one uniform that you can see the mechanics wearing, the violet color one. He had to wear that uniform all through the day. That had to absorb all of his sweat, that he worked hard, and he worn out inside the own clothes. He also had to stay there because he didn't have money to afford a different living area, a house for living. So he stayed there in that hot sun, mosquitoes, sweating and all that. Suddenly he realized that all he earned was spent for his food and living. So what he thought was he wanted some money to invest on something. And he decided to take away those rejected nails and sell them to shops who take irons who pay him for certain kgs of irons. He sold them, and with that money he started eating. And his salary, he cleverly invested it on something. He invested it on himself in the form of education. He enrolled himself in a typewriting and shorthand class. And he worked in the company, and the rest of the time he spent in learning those stuffs. And once he was through the exams of the exams of the typewriting and the shorthand, he tried for jobs that will require those skills. He went for a stenographer post in a very reputed government organization. The MD dictated in English. Those days, stenographers were recruited so that they'll take dictations and they'll send out letters. The MD was the boss who was selecting these people had all the candidates, and he dictated something in English which this poor guy did not understand. He was from a normal middle class family of those days, from a village. He was brought up he studied in a Tamil medium school. He did not understand English all that well. So he understood the mood and the concept of the letter. He wrote something when he was dictating, and with that mood and concept, he created his own letter. He was rejected, yes, but the man who was there in the panel for selection was impressed with the smartness of this guy. He gave him a job. He gave him the peon job, where you wear the uniform and you be a normal peon. And with that salary, he did another course. He did BCom in correspondence. And with that degree, he again got a promotion. Again, with the hiked job, he continuously invested on himself. And he has 5 PG diploma degrees with him right now. And the way he has become successful is really tremendous. because today he reads 6 English newspapers, he watches all the English channels, and he has contacts with all the press people. He is the public relations officer of the same organization where he joined as a peon. PA. The growth that he has seen, the way he has learned stuff, and today he is going to retire in another 9 months. The way he has grown is really tremendous. I would say he is a successful man. He has brought up this living standard of his family far beyond what they can even imagine. So he is a successful man. All of us have a goal. Each and every individual has his or her own goal. We need to work towards it. And once we reach it, we become successful. Just not the money and fame decides your success. Also, don't try to copy the success of anybody else. I learned this message from his life. I learned it from my role model, my dad, who was this little kid who walked to Madras, who lived all his life to become, he did not become famous, to become successful. He became successful in his own way. So what we need to understand is that walking in the streets of India, we can't reach a destination in New York. Everyone has their own path, their own road, their own goal. Work for it, achieve the goal, become successful. You are a successful person if you reach your goal. Don't try to copy the success of anybody. So I'm proud here, sitting here right in front of you, talking about my own dad as my role model. I want to be successful in my own way, just like how my dad was successful in his own way. Thank you.